Summer service and all.
Yeah, I dressed for in case I. And then I went home and I didn't have time to change stuff. But I did have a pair of white linen pants that have like all the leaves and the stuff on them.
I'll go back. I'm going to print two.
I did print one.
You did?
Yeah.
Well, I only have to print one.
Shabbat Shalom. Welcome. Shabbat Shalom. Ay, 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 Shabbat Shalom. Ay, 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 Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. The sun's in my eyes. The sun's in my eyes. Ay, 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 Shabbat Shalom. Ay, 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 Shabbat Shalom. Ay, 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 Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Ay, 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 ay. Ay, 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 ay. Ay, 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 ay. Ay, 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 ay. Ay, ay, Shabbat Shalom. Ay, 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 Shabbat Shalom. Ay, 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 Shabbat Shalom. Ay, 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 Shabbat Shalom. 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 Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat Shalom.
It's nice to be with all of you on this nice summer evening. We will begin our service on page 2 with reading number 1. And we'll read responsively. Many are the generations of Israel in every age. We have sought the living God through Sabbath rest and worship. This time and place hold the power to increase our joy in the eternal. O God, even as we seek you in the sanctuary, help us to know that your glory fills all space. Make us understand that you are with us at all times, if we but open our minds to you.
We feel the presence of your Spirit in our homes and on our ways. We see the beauty of your creation in garden, lake, and sky, and in the human form. We hear you in the silence of our own hearts, speaking the truth the heart knows.
May we be your witnesses to the world, your messengers to all the earth.
May we show forth your image within us, the divine spark that makes us human.
We'll turn to page 3 for Lecha Dodi. We'll be singing 3 verses this evening, and on the third one, Bohi V'Shalom, when we welcome in the Shabbat bride, the Sabbath bride, we'll stand up and turn to face the door, and then we'll sit back down when we get to the chorus, Lecha Dodi.
Lecha, lecha dodi, likrat, likrat kala, penei, penei, Shabbat nekabela. Lecha, lecha dodi, likrat, likrat kala, penei, penei, Shabbat nekabela, la, la. Lecha, lecha dodi, likrat, likrat kala, penei, penei, Shabbat nekabela. Lecha, lecha dodi, likrat, likrat kala, penei, penei, Shabbat nekabela. Shamor v'zachor b'dibur echad, Hishmianu el hameyuchad, Adonai echad u'shemo echad, L'shem u'tiferet v'liti la 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 la, Lecha dodi, likrat likrat kala, Penei penei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha lecha dodi, likrat likrat kala, Penei penei Shabbat nekabela. Hitoreri, hitoreri, kiva orech kumi ori, ori, ori shir daberi, כבוד אדוני עלייך נגלה לך דודי לקראת קלה פני שבת נקבלה לך דודי לקראת קלה פני שבת נקבלה בואי ושלום עטרת בעלה גם בשמחה ובצהלה תוך אמוני עם סגולה בואי חלה לך דודי לקראת קלה פני שבת נקבלה לך דודי לקראת קלה פני שבת נקבלה לך דודי לקראת קלה פני שבת נקבלה לך דודי לקראת קלה פני שבת נקבלה
We turn to page 4 as we read responsively reading number 2. Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy.
Shabbat cries out to us, hold sacred all that lives, revere and hallow this world, for here you and all life are born and spend your days.
Therefore, we welcome Shabbat, day of holiness, day of life. We'll turn to page 5 for Chatzi Kaddish.
יתקדש ויתקדש שמי רבה בעלמא דברה חירותי וימליך מלכותי בחייכון ויומכון ובחיי דרכו בית ישראל בעגלה ובזמן קריב ויאמרו אמן יהי שמי רבה מבורך לעלם לעלמי עלמיה יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי דקודשה בריחו לאלה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה תושבחתה ונחמתה דמירן בעלמא ויאמרו אמן.
We'll rise for the Baruch Hu, our call to worship on page 6.
Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam
We read together at the top of page 7. Beloved are you, eternal God, by whose design the evening falls, by whose command dimensions open up, and eons pass away, and stars spin in their orbits. You set the rhythms of day and night, the alteration of light and darkness. Sing your creating world, in rising sun and in spreading dusk. Creator of all, you are made manifest. Eternal, everlasting God, may we always be aware of your dominion. Beloved are you, Adonai, for this hour of nightfall.
Ahavat olam Beit Yisrael Amecha ahavta Torah u'mitzvot Chukim u'mishpatim Otanu limadeta Al ken Adonai Eloheinu B'shochbeinu u'vekumeinu Nasiach b'chukecha V'nismach b'divrei Toratecha ומצוותיך לעולם ועד. כי הם חיינו ואורך ימינו, ובהם נגע יומם ולילה, יומם ולילה. ואהבתך אל תסיר ממנו לעולמים. ברוך אתה אדוני, אוהב עמו ישראל.
We turn to page 8 for reading number 1 responsively. One and only God, you have made each of us unique and formed us to be united in one family of life. Be with us, Eternal One, as we seek to unite our lives with your power and your love. Proclaim now your oneness and our own hope for unity. We acclaim your creative power in the universe and in ourselves, the law that binds world to world and heart to heart. We continue with the watchword of our faith, the Shema.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed.
You may be seated.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך. והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך. וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם אמת.
We turn to page 10 for a reading at the top, number 1, just before we sing Mi Chamocha, the song that our ancestors sang as they crossed from slavery and bondage in Egypt to freedom on the other side to fully realize their peoplehood. We'll read at the top of the page, Emet, there is no place where you are not. Even in the wilderness, there is your word. Emet, that pen stroke of lightning, white fire, black flame, stir the soul's passion, guide our sacred word. True and enduring is the Torah. Your truth for us is certain and established now and forevermore. Like Moses, Miriam, and all Israel, we sing out and rejoice.
Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha ne'edar b'kodesh, nora tehilot, osei fele, malechutecha ra'u vanecha, okay, ayam lifnei Moshe, Ze'eli, anu ענו ואמרו אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נעדר בקודש, ונאמר כי פדה אדוני את יעקב וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו. ברוך אתה אדוני גאל ישראל.
We turn to page 11 at the bottom. May these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day. May all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment this day. And may this day fulfill its promise. I'll turn to page 12 for a rousing rendition of Beshamru.
Beshamru b'nei Israel et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי ששת ימים, that's today, עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
We rise for the tefillah on page 12. We'll begin with Adonai Sifatai.
Adonai Sifatai tiftach ufi yagi tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu ve'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, ve'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, ve'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'Konei Hakol, V'Zocher Chastei Avot V'Imahot, Umevi Geula Lihivnei V'neihem, Lema'an Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Ozer Umoshia Umagen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham ve'ezrat Sarah. Atah gibor le'olam Adonai, Mechaye hakol atah rav lehoshia. Mechalkel Chaim Bechesed, Mechaye HaKol Berachamim Rabim, Somech Noflim Verofei Cholim, Umatir Asurim, Umekayem Emunato, Lishenei Afar, Michamocha Baal Gevurot, Umido Melach, Melech Memit, Umechaye, Umatzmiach Yeshua, V'ne'eman ata lehachayot hakol, Baruch ata Adonai, Mechaye hakol. Ata kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, u'kadoshim b'chol yom yahalalucha selah. Baruch ata Adonai, ha'el hakadosh.
You may be seated. We read of the holiness of Shabbat on page 14. We'll read responsively. There is holiness when we strive to be true to the best we know.
There is holiness when we are kind to someone who cannot possibly be of service to us.
There is holiness when we forget what divides us and remember what unites us.
There is holiness when we are willing to be laughed at for what we believe in.
There is holiness when we love, truly, honestly, and unselfishly.
There is holiness when we remember the lonely and bring cheer into dark corners.
There is holiness when we share our bread, ideas, and our enthusiasm.
There is holiness when we gather to pray to God who gave us the power to pray.
We'll continue with Modim Anachnu Lach, our Hoda'ah prayer, our prayer of thanksgiving. We'll read these lines on page 14, and then we'll open it up if anyone has something that they're grateful for that they'd like to share with the community, and then we'll all say together, Modim Anachnu Lach. Modim Anachnu Lach, Sha'atahu Adonai Eloheinu Velohei Avotenu V'imotenu Le'olam Va'ed. Tzur Chainu Magen Yishenu Atahu Lador Vador. If there's anything that you're grateful for that you'd like to share this Shabbat, please go ahead and share it, and then we'll all say Modim Anachnu Lach afterwards. The smoke rising off the earth. Modim Anachnu Lach. Her grandson turned 1 on Monday. Modim Anachnu Lach.
Well, I planted a whole slew of wildflower seeds about 6 weeks ago, and the flowers are starting to pop, and it's so beautiful. It's just a nice reminder every day.
Modim Anachnu Lach. Beauty outside, wildflowers. Oh, I guess I didn't need to repeat that. He's got a microphone. Yeah.
We were married 50 years ago this week in the sanctuary.
Mazal Tov.
Mazal Tov, times
50 years to many more.
Modim
Anachnu Lach.
Come on, you're grateful for stuff, Sally.
I'm grateful I'm 5 minutes late for making time today, and I'm so thankful that I came here for this short 1 hour visit to be with everybody here. I love you all.
I'm grateful to be with this community that we love so much. Modim Anachnu Lach. I'm grateful to be here with all of you on a clearer day and to be back in Milwaukee and sharing Shabbat with all of you. Modim Anachnu Lach.
Wait, there are more.
Oh, there's more. Yes. Grateful to be here with family in the sanctuary you grew up in. Modim Anachnu Lach.
Nice.
Okay. We'll turn our attention to page 15 for our prayer for peace, Shalom Rav.
Shalom Rav al Yisrael tasim le'olam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha, tasim le'olam. Ki atahu melech adon, lechol hashalom. Ki atahu melech adon, lechol hashalom. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha, tasim le'olam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha, tasim le'olam. V'tov be'einecha levarech et amcha Yisrael, bechol עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha, tasim le'olam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha, tasim le'olam. Tasim le'olam. Tasim
Our thoughts turn to loved ones who are in need of a prayer for healing of refuat hanefesh, refuat haguf, a healing of body or a healing of soul, refuah shlema, a full and complete healing. At this time, our congregation is thinking of Shandal Bat Frida Malka, Julie Borikoff, Margot Raz, Carol Dubin, Sharon Rotman, Steve Teplinski, Esther Cohen, Lisa Firstad, Hachazan Sarah Rachel Bat Yocheved Alexander, Steve Plotkin, Avram Ben Naftali, Marilyn Harmon, Mary Frankowitz, Sophia Rubenstein, Ilana Himmelfarb, Avraham Bat Frida, Marla Chakowski, Michael Sychek, David Rotter, Natalie Cohen, Yona Neri Ben Avraham Vasara, Keith Mandel, Jamie Kreeman, Ela Batnatan Vashoshana, Mark Cook, Luke Cooper, Jason and Keely Roberts, Dr. Susie Mendelson, Audrey Rubin, Josh Boley, Michaela Helen Berg, Julie Austin, Michal Stroud, Susan Garrison, Yehuda Ben Avraham Vasara, Warren Beal, Ron Slavin, Peter Rotter, Wendy Cohen, Suzanne Swain, Fredlin Kruglock Vale, Scott Keller, Eileen Shippen, Roger Cook, Michael Bernstein Fine, Lona Ross, Neil Pinsky, Michael Keller, Baruch Laser Ben Esther, Layla Rosen, David Kleinman, Batya Riva Bat Yosef B'Miriam, Michaela Peck, Rena Leah Bat Malka Sura, Carol Himmelfarb, Meir Ben Herschel V'Nechama, Pinchas Ben Abraham V'Chaya, Avraham Ben Moshe V'Emunah, Wendy Huber, Al Rossman, Wendy Schuster, Ann Becker, and Kathy Baker. If there are loved ones whom you are thinking of in need of refuat nefesh, refuat guf, a refuah shlema, I invite you to hold them in your hearts as we turn to page 17 for these words of Misha Berach.
Misha Berach Avoteinu Mikor habracha le'imotenu. May the source source of strength, who bless the ones before us. Help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Perach imotenu mikor habracha la'avotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
As we reflect on our loved ones, we take a few moments for silent meditation for the prayers in your heart.
Imre fi, begion libi lefanecha. Yiyu leratzon, imre fi, begion libi lefanecha. Adonai tzuri, Adonai tzuri, Adonai tzuri vego ali. Adonai tzuri, Adonai tzuri, Adonai tzuri vego ali. Yiyu leratzon, imre fi, begion libi lefanecha. Yiyu leratzon, imre fi, begion libi lefanecha. Adonai tzuri, Adonai tzuri, Adonai tzuri vego ali. Adonai tzuri, Adonai tzuri, Adonai tzuri vego ali.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat Shalom.
Throughout this week's parasha, the double parasha, Chukat Balak, there are several made-for-TV dramatic episodes. In the second parasha, we meet some characters, some new characters, in addition to the presence of God. We encounter Balak, the parasha's namesake, the king of Moab, Balaam, the fortune teller, and a talking donkey. At the outset, the Moabite king Balak watches the Israelite people destroy a neighboring nation, the Amorites. Worried that his kingdom will suffer the same fate, he puts together a group of delegates to hire Balaam, a famous soothsayer who is known for laying curses. They ask him to curse the Israelite people. Balaam tells the delegates to wait overnight while he consults with God. Of course, God rejects Balaam's request. No, Balaam, you may not go curse the Israelite people. My Am Segulah, my treasured possession, my treasured people, They are already blessed. The delegates come back a second time, offering riches, and this time, God tells Balaam to go with them. 2 verses later, when Balaam has saddled his donkey and is on his way to meet Balak, God is incensed. God just gave Balaam permission to go, and now God is angry. Those seem like mixed signals. As parents, teachers, or someone's trusted adult, we've all experienced this at some point. A child comes to you and asks for something you don't want them to have. You say no. They come back a little while later, and eventually you say yes. But there are ground rules. They can only have 2 pieces of candy. If they take the car, they need to be back home by midnight. They can have a 5-minute break from studying. Clearly happy that you've said yes, they agree to your terms, but you walk away feeling a bit frustrated. So why say yes when what you want to say is no? The verse where God tells Balaam to go reads, Im likro lecha ba'u ha'anashim. If these envoys have come to invite you, you may go with them. Italian medieval commentator Ovadia Sforno suggests the following interpretation of this verse. If the delegates only came in order to get your advice, as in the book of Numbers, where such people who give advice are described as korei ha'edah, or in 1 Samuel, where a similar expression is used for advisors, go ahead and accompany them in order to prevent them from sinning. Sforno plays off that word likro, which means to declare or call out, in this week's parsha, saying that this verb is used in other biblical stories as a noun and translates to advisors. But the delegates want more than advice. They want Balaam to curse the Israelites. We can see why God is exasperated. God told Balaam he could go under certain conditions, and Balaam ignored them and went knowing he would do something that God didn't want him to do. Balaam knew the delegates were asking for much more than advice, and he intended to give them what they asked for. Balaam thought he could outsmart God, curse the Israelites, and gain the status and riches promised by Balak, the Moabite king. Even though Balaam had promised God to only speak the words that God put into his mouth, his intentions said otherwise. So it's not exactly a bait and switch. God is not angry with Balaam's actions, going with the delegates. Rather, Sforno argues, God is furious, knowing Balaam's intentions. Just as you knew in your heart of hearts that the child might not follow the rules that you laid out so clearly for them. It can be exasperating. You warned them, you tried to explain the consequences, and still, they do what they want. Our intentions matter as much as our words and our actions. If we say the right things, but we don't really mean them, we cause more harm than good. Rachel sees her friend Jonathan out at a mutual friend's dinner party, and he says to her, "Oh, it's so great to see you. My wife and I have been meaning to reach out so that we can get together, but we've been so busy lately. Let's get together soon." Sounds good, right? The problem is he doesn't really mean it. A week later, Rachel hears from another friend that a group, including Jonathan and his wife, went out for dinner just last night. And now she thinks back to what he said to her at that event, and she hears the words, and she sees the actions. They don't match. Her feelings are hurt, and now she's worried. If he had never spoken the words, "We've been meaning to reach out to get together, let's get together soon," Rachel wouldn't have thought anything of it. But now she wonders if she's done something wrong, or if Jonathan and his wife don't really actually enjoy her company. The intent matters. Jonathan never intended to follow up on his invitation, so he should have left well enough alone and simply said, "It's great to see you." Our biblical story continues. Balaam is riding his donkey, and it sees an angel of God brandishing a sword in front of it. So the donkey veers to the right, suddenly taking Balaam off course. Balaam whips the donkey. It moves forward, but the angel appears again. This time, the donkey is in a narrow space with a wall to the right, and it squeezes past the angel, crushing Balaam's foot. Balaam whips the donkey yet again. A third time, the angel stops in front of the donkey, and this time there is no way to escape, no way out. And suddenly, Balaam, frustrated, whips the donkey a third time. And then God opens the donkey's mouth and it speaks to Balaam. "What have I done to you that you have beaten me these 3 times?" Balaam said to the donkey, "You've made a mockery of me." The donkey said to Balaam, "Look, I'm the donkey that you've been riding all along until this day. Have I been in the habit of doing this to you?" And he answered, "No." Now God uncovers Balaam's eyes, and he sees the angel brandishing the sword, revealing something precious. The donkey kept Balaam from harm's way. Intentions matter as much as our actions. The donkey has been a faithful servant to Balaam for many years, and now, seemingly out of nowhere, it appears to act against Balaam. However, its intentions were pure. The inconveniences that Balaam faced were far outweighed by the greater act of the donkey saving his life. Intentions weave throughout this parashah: God's intentions to protect the Israelite people, Balak's intentions to curse them, and Balaam's intentions to gain status and wealth, and the donkey's intentions to save its owner. When we act with care so that our intentions match our words and actions, the outcome is typically positive. This Shabbat, may we slow down, breathe deeply, and take a moment to consider our intentions and ensure that they align with our actions. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
We rise for Aleinu on page 18. It's an honor to call forward Sarah Lubar and Linda Berlin to open our ark doors this evening.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצא בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא, ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד. Shabbat Shalom.
You may be seated. At this time, we turn our hearts and our thoughts to those loved ones who are no longer with us. And though their physical presence is no longer of this earth, we hold them in our hearts and in our minds, their presence guiding us each and every day. At this time, we commemorate the lives of Barry Bursack, and during the period of Shiva of Mark Berlin, Susan Sack, John Jack Halpin, during the period of Shloshim of Madeline Dubman, Doris Gendelman, Alvin Jubilier, Howard Messerman, Tom Plackett, Sheldon Resnick, Rhea Shapiro, Elliot Wasserman, and Ren Gallen, and those who have passed at this time in years past: Arlene Altman, Ethel Atinsky, Alex Baer, Sam Berkovitz, Stanley Bernstein, Marvin Bruderson, Paula Cohen, Jean Cohen, Maris Daughtry, Doherty, Perry Dinkin, Mildred Elbaum, Rosa Evans, Eva Frazen, Ann Garber, Celia Gendlin, Stephen Glick, Michael David Goldberg, Shirley Green, Sydney Grossman, Vivian Hurst, Bradley Stephen Holtzman, Alan Kagan, Carrie Knopow, Lionel Lambert, Max Loffer, Milton Levy, Louis Levine, Milton Marcus, Alan Maglowski, Natalie L. Mukin, Dean Olson Sr., Dr. Harold Ottenstein, Marshall H. Pohl, Bertha Rotman, Toby Sattler, Noah Norman Shapiro, Rose Siegel, Mrs. Deborah R. Silverman, Jerry Silverman, Henry Skurnick, Shirley Solochek, Milton Soroff, Sylvia Francis Spiegel, Howard Swernoff, Armin Kenneth Taus, John Van Osh, Alan Wagner, Arlene Wasserman, Robert Weinberg, Alfred Weissman, Mary Wolfe, Jack C. Young, and Edward Irving Zine. If there are loved ones whom you are thinking of that you'd like to share, or names that should be pronounced differently than I pronounce them, I invite you to share them with our community as my eyes meet yours. We turn to these sacred words of Kadisha Tome, the Mourner's Kaddish, on page 20. We rise as one community. Yit gadal vid kadash shemei rabbah, ve'alma divra chirute v'yamlich malchute, v'chayechon uvyomachon uchaye dechol beit Yisrael, v'agala uvizman kariv v'imru amen. Yehe shmei rabba mevorach le'olam u'lalmei almaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmei dekudasha barichu, le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata b'nechemata, da'amiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehe shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Osei shalom v'imromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Zichronam livracha, may their memories be for blessing. And together we say, Amen. You may be seated. It's a joy to turn to our congregation to the events that are upcoming and to invite Ben Marins, past president, up to share those announcements with us.
Thank you so much. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
If you look to your left and your right, you may see empty chairs. I hope you see each other. because without each and every one of us in this room and online watching, we wouldn't have the community that we have. A community that in its form exact as we are tonight will never happen again. It makes this indeed a sacred gathering, a sacred Shabbat. If the community that we are building here is one you don't want to let go of after just one service, the sacred community of Shabbat continues tomorrow at 9 o'clock with Torah study and 10 o'clock with a community Shabbat service, followed by a community Shabbat luncheon. Shabbat will end tomorrow evening, but the community we build here doesn't. So you can come back on Wednesday evening, July 5th. We'll have 2 adult education classes from 4:30 to 5:30 p.m. Rabbi Shapiro has a class about the 100 most influential Jews. It continues, and we also have an Israel education series. It continues at 6:30 p.m. The topic, the Kotel, is it a Jewish question? And examine the ability of women to freely pray at the Kotel through a religious and political lens. Our office is closed here on Tuesday in observance of Independence Day. On Saturday night, July 8th at 8 o'clock, we will have another fun-filled evening of trivia. Our own Brian Abner will be our trivia maven, and you can come with a team or we can put you on one. And if you register online, or you can call the office if you plan to come. On July 10th, there's a meeting of the Social Action Committee at 6:30 p.m., another way to be part of the community here. All are welcome, and if you want more information, the office, just call. On Wednesday, July 12th, join Congregation Shalom at the JCC pool from 4 to 6 p.m. It's a free event, and we hope you come splash with us. On Thursday, July 27th at 6 o'clock, I hope you'll come back here to Congregation Shalom. I am debuting a one-man show. It is called Today I Am a Man. It's stories and songs that I hope you will come and enjoy. And now that it's summer, we look forward to being able to be outdoors in the wine garden for our summer Shabbat services, and we hope you will come back and join us outdoors to pray next week. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Done in style. Thank you.
It's an honor to call up Linda Berlin. It's an honor to call up Beverly Ugent to light our Shabbat candles this evening. The light that you bring to our community is so special, just as the light of Shabbat is special. And we bring in that light by lighting the candles, and you bring in that light by sharing it with all of us. We are on page 21.
As the day becomes night, the velvet cloak of darkness descends, enveloping us in its warmth. We snuggle into its folds, eyes closed, breathing deeply. We feel at peace. We feel the cares and worries of the day fall away, leaving quiet, contentment, serenity. We see, even with eyes closed, 2 small pinpoints of light drawing us close, causing us to feel a warmth inside as well as out. We smile and embrace them, as we do each week, as our ancestors did, as our children do each week. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Amen.
Amen.
Thank you.
We'll turn to page 22 for a reading before Kiddush. This is a beautiful reading that we don't often have the chance to read, and I just love it, so I would like for us to read it this evening. The commandment to bless this wine is a commandment to drink life as deeply as we drink from this cup.
It is a commandment to bless life and love deeply.
It is a commandment to remember with Shabbat heart, to act with Shabbat hands, to see the world with Shabbat eyes. It is a commandment to laugh until we are all laughter, to sing until we are all song, to dance until we are all dance, to love until we are all love. This is the wine that God has commanded us to bless and drink.
Please rise for Kiddush. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kodsho be'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu, zikaron lemaaseh v'reishit, ki hu yom techila lemikra'e kodesh, zecher litziat Mitzrayim, ki vanu v'acharta, ve'otanu kidashta, mikol ha'amim, v'shabbat kodshecha, be'ahava uvratzon, hinchaltanu. Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh haShabbat. L'chaim.
L'chaim. And on this evening, just before the 4th of July, Independence Day, we will close with America the Beautiful, which can be found on page 27. 27.
Oh, beautiful for spacious skies, for amber waves of grain, for purple mountain majesties above the fruited plain. America, America, God shed his grace on thee, and crown thy good with brotherhood, from sea to shining sea.
Shabbat Shalom.
America, America, God shed his grace on thee, and crown thy good with brotherhood, from sea to shining sea, and Shabbat Shalom. Right? It's a good one. It's such a good song. Shabbat Shalom. Thank you very much. Good to see you.
Nice to see you too. What were you saying when I was walking away, because I couldn't hear?
Done style. Some style.
I can tell you.
That's all you do, Ben.
I know, no substance.
Huh?
I'm repeating myself, that's all you do.
So, I was trying to remember, but I remember the four things, just gonna have to type in my phone, which I did, which is me. First is what you do in Strahd, Mr. Garrett's names, the yard sale names, and the candlelight, it just brings so much needed for service. Do more, it's quick and ready. It is, I love it. And it's just, even when there's a handful of people, charges go beyond the 95 before. I still will charge them, so you know that person I can tell that's what we should, because that's the technical stuff. It's key and I quite